Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning. It is time for Coffee Ann on ON AM and FM. Monday morning. It's April 3rd. Thanks for joining us. My name's Joe Callahan. Dave Richards is here. Good morning to you, Dave.
Yes, good morning to you, Joe. And good morning to our friends at home.
And good morning to our special guest right now, Jean Michon from New Beginnings. Good morning to you, Jean.
Good morning.
Now, on Saturday, it was April 1st. Not only was it Gary Smith's birthday.
Yes.
It was also April Fool's Day. Did anybody get fooled?
No.
On April Fool's Day? No, nothing? No one tried anything?
No, I just.
This was a really boring
okay.
April 1st, I'm telling you.
Maybe because it rained.
Probably, I don't know why, but I mean, the number of pranks was at a bare
Low.
minimum, I think. They did, I do remember a prank that came through on the wire. Mm-hmm. That digital, the company that licenses the digital transmission software that many of us use in this business, is decided to get out of that business, and they're shutting down all the digital stations.
No.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Well, I mean, believe it or not, I mean, you know, Bud in Nashville, he bid on it. Wait a minute, I got 6 of those.
Melissa Murray's here. Hi, Melissa.
That's not a very nice prank at all. Good morning.
Certainly not. But then again, we was ready for it.
The one prank I did see, but no one seemed to fall for it. They posted it on Facebook. The store Benny's was very big in Rhode Island, but they had others in Massachusetts as well, and there was one in my town too. And those people missed Benny's like crazy as well.
Sure, yeah.
And someone posted, "Good news, Benny's is coming back," and they just people in the nice try April Fools.
I did see on Twitter, someone tweeted, David Cicilline has decided not to leave office.
Oh, that's a good one.
I knew right away that it was April Fool's, but
That would wreck the day of a bunch of people that we all know.
Neil Steinberg's staying.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
All right, we asked Jean. Jean Michon asked to come on, and so she's got a few things that she wants to talk about. What's going on at New Beginnings? So
That's how you get on Coffee Ann, you ask.
You ask.
Otherwise,
And
we
yes,
wouldn't
and we say
necessarily
sure.
know you needed to.
So what's going on that you needed the forum?
Well, we're having our first fundraiser since we've been at St. James. We've been there for 10 months. And
Seems like yesterday, huh?
Yes.
You were moving in.
We're having a musical bingo on April 15th, from 6 to 9.
This does not interfere with our senior resource fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
This works out great.
I can visit the senior fair and then go to bingo. And that I can bring them with
And
me.
what time is the bingo?
6 to 9 p.m.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Perfect, huh?
And we'll be serving a light lunch. I'm a light supper. I'm not sure. I'm toss up between
You'll have
American
something
chop
there.
suey or dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I like American chop suey.
I do too.
Yes.
It's easier to make in bulk.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, easy to make in bulk, but it's got all the major food groups:
Yes.
macaroni, and tomatoes.
And beef. I'll make a vegetarian version, macaroni and sauce.
Yeah, yum.
We're also, I'd like to thank the Woonsocket Fire Department. A couple months back, I did the Heimlich maneuver on one of our customers.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking. I have wonderful volunteers, but I want to make sure that everybody is safe at the kitchen. So I put out a call for donations for a fundraiser to raise enough money to provide CPR, first aids, stop the bleed, defibrillator,
Yeah.
the whole shebang. So the fire department reached out and told me they had a program. So we had our first class on first aid last Saturday, the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't play pranks on the men. No.
Oh, good.
They would bandage us to the wall. So we're doing our CPR class on the 8th.
That's this Saturday, right?
Yes. So it was a wonderful response to what could have been a terrible event.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to feel more secure that I have people who are trained beside myself.
Oh, sure.
You know,
You're not
'cause
always
sometimes-
there.
No, sometimes I have to go into the basement
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Yeah, the way it happened and how fast it happened, it got me to thinking. So I was proactive, and the people in the city were fabulous. Fire department was fabulous. We're also partnering with St. James Church. They're having their 100th May breakfast on May 6th. So New Beginnings will be providing some help for them in the back of the house.
Doing the cooking.
Some of it.
Some of it, okay.
Yeah, no, I'll be working with some of the parishioners from St. Mark's and St. James. And that's May 6th from 8 to noon. Let me, sorry.
She's got to look at her notes now.
Yeah.
She's got the right
What's
dates.
wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's $10 for adults, $6 for 12 and under, and free if you're under 3. And
They don't need much.
No. And we have the whole list: scrambled eggs, sausage, ham, beans, French toast, muffins, juice, coffee, bottled water. They're going to be selling plants, crafts, and books. And they're going to have May baskets. So, like I said, we've been at St.
Isn't
James.
that a little early to be doing May baskets?
May 6th.
Oh, it's May 6th.
Yes.
I missed that one. Okay. I
No,
thought we were
it's
still back
May.
on the 15th.
No,
Because I wanted to find out what songs we're singing at the bingo so that I can get ready for
I'll
that.
be singing solo. Solo, you can't hear me.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, so 6 p.m. is the bingo.
Yeah, and that's $20
I'm writing
a
them
person.
down in my book here.
$20 a person, but you get a card for each round. I believe there's between 6 and 8 rounds of bingo, and we're going
And
to
it's
get.
at St. James, right?
Yes,
If anyone hasn't played musical bingo before, it's a lot of fun. I've played it before,
Well,
and it's a
maybe you
lot
should
of
explain
fun.
it to everybody because I don't
Is it like
get it.
musical chairs?
no.
No,
all right.
so you get a. So I think we're talking about the
Yeah.
same thing. You get a bingo card with the names of songs, and
Okay.
and then they
When you
play
hear it.
snippets of songs.
All right.
But you have to know
Oh, is
the
that
song,
what they call
right?
that?
Ooh,
So it's
that's-
not
that's
just like,
tough.
oh, you call the number and you know,
Yeah.
you have to know what the song is.
Oh, that's a
So
shame.
I'm-
though.
Well,
I can't play that.
you can.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I can't.
Why, they'll play some old
They'll
stuff.
tar and feather me.
No.
I'm a
It's
professional.
fixed.
It's-
Dave's in on it.
No, there's like a lot of heavy on the 80s. You're good with that. They throw some older songs in there, and they throw some newer songs in there. And I will admit, I don't know all of like the newer stuff. Or I'm like, oh yeah, I heard that on the radio, but I have no idea what it's called or who
What's
sings
the title?
it.
Yeah.
Right?
I see.
Yeah, it's like
So-
name that tune only on paper.
Right. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I've seen this. Of course, back in the 1970s, the early 1970s, we used to play a version of that at the Village Barn in Mapleville.
Oh.
After work, we would go down there, a bunch of us, and that's when I found out I was in big trouble because they would throw in a bunch of quarters into the jukebox. They'd punch a bunch of buttons on it. First one that can, give us the name and the artist of the song that's playing. From the pitcher, we fill your glass. And that was a bad move to do away from home for Dave because I won and I lost on the same night.
Dave got drunk real quick that night.
And I got a bunch of ticked off friends who didn't invite me again.
He wins all the time.
We wanted some beer.
But if they start throwing in Taylor Swift songs, Dave, you might be a little bit lost.
Oh, I love
I don't
Tay Tay.
know.
All right.
Now my
Recognize it.
secret's
Yeah, see,
out.
and I'm good with the Mills Brothers and Frank Sinatra.
There you go. There you
All
go.
the old stuff.
We team
Yeah.
we team up and then we'll win
That's
all
right.
win it
That's
all,
right.
right?
We'll switch cards.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
That's
That's cheating.
cheating.
That's cheating. That's cheating. Don't do that.
Okay.
All right,
So May 6th is the bingo, no?
No, April 15th is the bingo.
Okay.
May 6th is the breakfast.
Yes.
Oh, the breakfast.
Yeah, that's why we're making May baskets.
What
on May
time?
6th. The breakfast is from 8 to noon,
Yeah.
Bingo is 6 to 9.
6 to 9 p.m.
You got bingo again?
No, on the 15th.
Okay.
You'll be able to jump around quick, Dave.
Sorry.
The people that are being trained by the fire department, are they at the end? Are they certified?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why it's a 2-day course.
And when are
Yeah.
they being trained by the fire department? After breakfast?
No, I provide breakfast. No, it's from 8:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And this session goes April 1st and April 8th, and then we're going to
But
look
now they've
into
already
another-
missed the session last Saturday. Can they just jump in?
No,
No?
No,
Oh,
it has
that's
to
too
be,
bad.
they have to sign up.
Continuous. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we didn't get a lot of the church members because of being Holy Week and
Yeah,
Easter.
yeah.
So the fire department said that they will offer another class for the church members. So we're going to coordinate that
Cool.
sometime late spring, early summer.
That's great.
Yeah. But I just want everybody to feel safe.
Knowing
Because-
that if something happens, there's a bunch of people.
Right,
that will know what
and
to
they
do.
deal with a diverse population as well and an older population. So they were quite pleased. We have a defibrillator that we brought with us, so we have a lot of the equipment. We just needed the training.
Training on how to use
Yeah.
it. All right. Well, that's good. Now, now Jean's been working there 10 months at the new place, not using a stove.
No,
This is so impressive, but she still gets out the meals.
absolutely.
And what are you using?
I use Hamilton Beach roasting pans,
Yeah,
and
it works.
it does. It works.
Yeah.
It's just I have
Slower?
to. Yes.
Yeah.
And I just have to cook chicken in batches. So 60 pounds of chicken takes a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But no, they eat really well. They have barbecued chicken. They have chicken a la king. They have homemade beef stew. Today, when I go in, we're having glazed ham with cheesy potatoes. So, and then we get soups donated from Blount, which is
Oh,
fabulous.
that's great. I love them too. It makes me
Yes.
love them even more.
Yes, and we actually get stuff from Panera. So, I mean, the people have been fabulous with the pre-cooked stuff, which is great.
Now, it's not that you don't have a stove. It's just that you just can't use it right now.
Right,
So
the
you're
renovations.
still
the
working
thing-
on stuff.
Yeah,
Get-
we're waiting to finish the renovations with the hood and with anything with COVID, getting the materials, getting
Them to actually
scheduling
come
it.
here.
Yeah,
Getting workers, right.
Yeah,
Got
so-
it. And then you got to get inspected.
Yeah, and we've had several inspections along the way just to keep us
Yeah.
Moving
moving
along.
forward. So we're 99 and 9/10% of the way there.
Good.
But the joke going around New Beginnings is, will Gene know how to use the stove once it's up and working? What is this big, large monstrosity?
Yes, it's a candle lighter.
My dad used to light his cigarettes with the
Oh,
stove.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think my dad did too at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Electric?
No, it was
Okay.
gas.
Okay. I'm like, what? That's
But did your dad do it with the cigarette in his mouth and just tip his head down and light it that way?
I think they all did.
Mine did.
My grandfather did that.
Yeah.
He also
Talk about dangerous.
my other grandfather had cigars, and
Well, that was easier. They're bigger.
Yeah, well, see, on the one hand, one grandfather had a kerosene stove, so it was pretty easy. You know,
Yeah.
you had a pilot, you could just dip it into the pilot and light it up that way. But the first grandfather, there was wood in there on the left-hand side, and then he would just I forget what you call that handle with the little notch on it, where you took it and you just lifted that flat cover off,
Right.
and there was a hole there, and then he would take the cigar out of his mouth and put it down inside up to his elbow. Come back, it's smoldering. Give it a few puffs, and it was okay. And you put the
Put
cover
thing
back on.
and take
that
the
is
handle off.
wild.
That
Yeah, the
impresses
cast
a
iron
4-year-old,
thing.
I'll tell you.
Oh,
That
yeah.
impresses a 4-year-old when you see that. Now, they told me not even to touch that thing,
Don't touch
Grandpa,
it,
but
yeah.
you know.
He's in up to his elbow.
You probably didn't do that with cigarettes, though, huh?
No, he
Not
didn't
much
smoke
short.
cigarettes.
No? Really? Oh, just cigars?
My mother's father smoked cigars. My
That's it?
father's father smoked cigarettes.
All
My,
right.
my grandfather
smoked
smoked a pipe.
Yeah, I don't know if they did that in the oven.
Nobody smokes a pipe anymore.
No.
Nobody smokes
they
anymore,
smell
really.
so
But
good. I used to like the smell of the pipe.
Of pipe smoke?
Well, because my grandfather used to get flavored.
Flavored, yeah. You get like
the
apple
vanilla.
flavored. Yeah.
So it was like, it's bad for you, but it smells good. It's
Yeah.
like an air freshener for the living room.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can. I don't see anyone smoking a pipe
No.
anymore. And
I'm
don't-
sure
I'm sure there are some.
They're out there. Just like
There
there's
are.
still people who play vinyl records. So
Oh, I do.
Oh, they're making a
I do,
comeback.
too.
I do.
So,
I bought my almost 17-year-old daughter has a record player. She asked for a record player, and she has the Beatles. And
I love it.
oh, there you go.
You're raising her right.
yeah, well, when she was younger, she wanted to know why they named a band after a bunch of bugs.
it's because it's
she didn't know that.
E-A.
Didn't know that at
When
the
she
time.
was
has
like
to do with a
6, she's
beat,
like-
a musical beat.
Yeah, but when she was 6, it was like, why
Bugs.
did they name it after bugs? How did they get in the boat? In the submarine.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program. More coming your way.
She has
We
a
ask
lot
you
of
please to
questions,
stick
didn't she?
around.
Yeah.
Still does.
766-1240 for comments and questions.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England. It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Gene Michon from New Beginnings. And Gene, just in case people don't know where you're located right now, give us the address of where you are.
We're located at 24 Hamlet Ave, which is in St. James Episcopal Church, around the back, up the steps.
And there's signage.
Yes, and we serve lunch Monday through Thursday from 11:30 to 12:45. You walk in the door, tell us you're hungry, we'll feed you.
There you go.
We don't ask any questions.
But
Never
there,
have.
there are handicap ways to get in.
Yes.
You say up the steps. I didn't want people to get the wrong idea.
No, there is a ramp.
We all go up the
And
steps.
there's an elevator.
Yeah.
But there is access for everyone.
Do you see the same people every day? Or
Sometime-
every other day?
Well, we're seeing an influx of different people now. It depends. With the weather being nice, people are traveling
people.
more. Yes. So, and then with school vacations, we see more kids, which is fine because nobody wants a bologna sandwich when they can
Every
have,
single day.
when they can have chicken or
And glazed ham.
yes, yes.
What
Tomorrow.
many people don't realize is that a lot of the kids, especially in Woonsocket, we have a very high rate of poverty, and many times when the kids are not in school, they don't get lunch at home. So that is something that you offer the community also. That's why they do the lunches in the park during the summers, because those kids, sometimes that's, for some kids, that's the only meal that they get.
Right, and that's why we want everybody to know that New Beginnings is there. They can access it. We have no restrictions. We just ask that you follow the rules, and you can eat Monday through Thursday. We don't have a limit. You can't come Monday. You can come Tuesday. Any day that we're open, we'll feed whoever comes through the door.
And you'll take donations, won't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
P.O. Box 244, Woonsocket, Rhode Island, or 24 Hamlet Ave.
Or just give it to you.
Yeah, that too.
All right. Other things that are going on. It was exciting weekend here in the city of Woonsocket, not in a good way. One with the Woonsocket police arrested that second sister in the killing of the father.
That's right.
They initially said or she initially said she went upstairs to take a nap and woke up, came downstairs, dad was dead. Now the police said, no, looks like you were involved too. So we'll
What a
see what
shame.
else happens with that. All dealing with an argument, I guess, about selling the house and getting rid of the cats and,
Yeah, I
and
think they
things
had
like that.
12 cats.
Oh, that's what I hear. Yeah. So there was that, and then there was basically a battle Saturday with gunfights.
Saturday afternoon.
Like it's the old West, and the poor boy a 13-year-old boy driving he wasn't driving,
Yeah.
riding in his car with his father. Gets hit.
Yeah.
Gets hit with a bullet.
Now, has that been determined? Because I read he was either hit with a bullet or shards of glass from the.
I'm not sure. I just know that he got
car.
hit in the arm and was.
Yeah.
They were just. It was
Wrong place.
wrong place,
at the
wrong time. Yeah.
He was
a child.
taken off to Landmark, and he's fine. So that's good.
This is why they don't let you shoot guns in the city, because
Yes.
you're going to hit something. I mean, after your bullet's done
Yeah.
with what you pointed at, either it hits
Keeps
it or
going.
it doesn't. That's right. These babies keep on going, and they hit something else that you're not figuring on shooting
Or
at.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they've arrested one person,
Yeah.
a citizen
and
with
they're on the lookout for another.
Yeah, of who he was really shooting at.
Yeah.
I guess they fired back too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there is a video online.
someone got video of it.
Well, the noises, the sounds
Oh,
of the
okay.
shots.
So it's like wow. So
Yeah.
that happened on Saturday, but the good thing was the Easter egg hunt that happened on Sunday.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And Gene was there.
Yep.
Were you passing out candy?
Well, I wasn't. Some
No.
representatives of New Beginnings were there, and we ran out of candy after the first half hour. And we had 195 little baggies
Yeah.
full of candy. So
Oh, yeah.
apparently there was a
We're
lot
done.
of people.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Now, they tried something a little new this time. They had it. It used to be one of those things that we started at noontime, gathered together, and the hunt went off at 1 o'clock. Well, the whole world has changed. We don't have the kids out there on the field anymore, getting their clothes dirty and beating up on other kids and doing what kids do.
Yeah.
Parents.
These days it's the
Parents
parents.
more than the kids.
Yeah. Well, as we say, we had to stop that during the pandemic, and there were some benefits to just driving through in the car. The kids didn't have to get out of their car seats. You didn't have to find a place to park the car. You didn't have to worry about kids being cold and getting into groups of marauding vagabonds and things like that. The control aspects were attractive, and they kept it going. And this year, without any other particular reason, except that I'm sure they're pretty happy they had a rain date Sunday. It was kind of hard on some of the vendors to switch from Saturday to Sunday, but we were warned ahead of time that if the weather was inclement, and it was, you could have snuck it in, for a drive-through, but it would have been miserable.
Yeah.
And it was so iffy that you couldn't tell that it wasn't going to start raining again. In
Right.
fact, some places it did, like where the ball game was up in Worcester, right? But the rain day went off without a hitch. Most all the vendors were there. Some people had a really big presence there. We were lucky enough. We had Dave Tebow with us, and the fabulous Denise was there handing out kids in her matronly sort of
Handing
way.
out kids.
Kids.
How many kids was she passing out?
Handing out candy to kids. I have to say. Told you it was a busy weekend. I'm going to need a week off to recuperate from this weekend. And then I was experimenting with how to use our technology to the advantage. And so we have these QR codes that were made up. And I grabbed one of them and I ran up stream and I started showing them to the cars. I said, now, if you scan this on your phone, you'll be able to watch yourself drive by the TV truck up front because we have a TV stream, a live stream going. And, virtually everybody gave it a try. Most everybody got it to work the first time. I guess some phones aren't set up for QR codes.
Yeah.
But those that were did it. And we can even see, I looked back at the recording last night. You can see kids who were looking at the phone, looking at the camera, looking at the phone, looking at the camera, and having some fun with that. So making good memories, with the family and everything else like that, while Denise was handing out the candy to the kids. And
handing out the kids
from
the
our
candy.
perspective, it was wonderful. But let me tell you, Liz Kerrigan is an ace at all of this stuff.
Yes.
She's observed that when we switched over to the drive-through 3 years ago, people would be lining up at about a little afternoon for a 1 o'clock event. Mm-hmm. And of course, they're in cars. So they're sitting there and the engine's running, keeping things warm, stuff like that. And the line is backing up Davison Avenue onto Hamlet Avenue. And she's saying, okie doke, what are we doing about this? So she warned all the vendors, please be ready for 12:40. Thank you for picking that number, by the way, Liz. For 20 minutes before 1. And she said, because if everyone's ready, we're going to let them in early and try to get rid of some of the congestion.
Right.
Now, this, of course, was a request from the police department, who had people backing up at the light and then turning on the Hamlet Avenue and backing up the consumers, trying to get into. Wow. So that's pretty smart on her part. So she let people come in early. So actually, things got in 20 minutes early,
Right.
and we were going at it. But the place was ticked like this for the first hour and 20 minutes. So the last hour was admittedly slower than usual because we'd done bumper-to-bumper traffic for an hour and 20 minutes. That's how you lost all your candy so early, because it was bumper-to-bumper traffic. Ay, 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 ay. We almost ran out where we were, too. But the last half an hour was a little slow. But everybody who wanted to got in. It was nice.
Well, glad it went so
Well done. A lot of smiles. Good memories. That's what it's all about for me anyway, making good memories.
And decent weather on Sunday.
Yeah,
A little
beautiful.
cold, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
well,
Yes.
hey, I got a windburn and a sunburn, I'll tell you, because it was cold when we got there at 11 o'clock. Thank goodness, during the course of the afternoon, by 3 o'clock, the wind had died down
Yeah.
considerably. But at 11 o'clock, it was
Yeah.
right in your puss. And I made a phone call to the fabulous Denise. I says, Denise, you wouldn't be going overboard if you brought layers, shirt, sweatshirt, sweater, coat, hood, scarf, right, headband, and gloves. Put cotton in your ears. Do something. I mean, try to keep yourself warm. I can't protect you from the wind.
yeah.
Because where we're set up, the wind's going to hit you first and then hit the truck, so you can't sit behind the truck. That was a little tough to take for a while. Although when you're in the sun, you were roasting in the sun, and the wind was cooling you off. It was a good time, friends. Very good time. And I think all the best decisions were made, because on a day like today, if you'd had the kids out on the grass, on the soccer fields, trying to pick up candy off the grass, that part would have worked, but the kids had been miserable for the drawings and can't wait to leave, and we hadn't given away this yet, and it makes it tough for all the parents.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, sure.
What, Aubrey doesn't want to go to them anymore?
No, but she still wants the goodies.
Well, of course.
So,
Oh, everybody does.
Yeah, everyone loves an Easter basket.
Sure.
yeah, I have to make her two.
The
One
Rotary
with
Club was
candy.
giving out a big plastic bag filled with all kinds of activity things and educational stuff, and I saw that. Being a vendor, I didn't see what everybody was doing, but there was a lot of little, toys and silly
Trinkets.
things like
Yeah.
that, trinkets, and a little candy here and there.
It's funny, G, because my daughter and your daughter are the same age.
Yes.
And my wife, I was asking my wife this weekend. I said, "No, Easter's next week. What do you want to do?" She goes, "Should we just give her money?"
Yeah, no. I have
Has she gotten to that age where, here's some money?
now one basket has candy, and then the other basket has the girly things,
All right.
the fake nails.
The barrettes,
Yeah, well, no, the
nothing.
makeup,
Oh,
and then
okay.
a gift card to one of her favorite makeup places. And Mom knows little to nothing about that.
My daughter's not into any of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
A
mine's
little,
a
a little on
girly
the
girl.
eyelashes, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, she's
she
got it
is.
right. Makeup is supposed to make up for what you don't have naturally,
Yeah, but you
not
figure
to completely make over.
Yeah, no.
well, right. But I've also seen her friends, and a lot of them are into the fake nails. And,
Yeah.
and more makeup. And I'm like, she's just I don't
Practical,
know.
huh?
She just I don't know if she just doesn't want to do it, or she's scared to do it, or I don't know what.
Well,
I don't know what
good,
it
good.
is.
No, maybe she's just confident enough to know that,
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm
fine the
fine
way it is.
Yeah, that's
Denise
great.
was never into that. Nicole never got into that.
So all right. Time for a little-
Personal choice, Joe.
Yeah, that's right. And it's saving me a ton of money. That's what it's really doing.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Time for the forecast right now, which is being brought to you by the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
Sunny skies today with a high of 53 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 44. Tuesday's weather, mostly cloudy skies, high of 63, calm wind. A 60% chance of rain Wednesday night, Thursday, and Thursday night. Wednesday's high, 48. Wednesday night's low is 48. Thursday, 68 for a high, and down to 43 on Thursday night. Friday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 56 and breezy. Saturday, sunshine and 54, and next Sunday, on Easter Sunday, sunny and 59.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. The sun is shining and we have 39 degrees. Take a moment to explore Massachusetts this summer. Plan your getaway today at visitma.com. A message from the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
Preventative care is the hallmark of a good dental program, and Dr. Jeffrey Dodge takes a high priority on patient care as well as patient education by taking the time to listen and answer questions. You'll never feel rushed. Dr. Dodge also offers restorative care, including fillings, crowns, and bridges. They feature an in-house laboratory, making it easy and convenient for the patient. Check their website for more information about their caring philosophy and to learn more about dental updates and new technology. drjedodge.com. Dr. Jeffrey Dodge, your family dentist at 1438 Park Avenue, Park Square, 762-3044.
Kafin Oil believes in service. Whether you need an automatic oil delivery, servicing, or a late-night emergency repair, Kafin Oil will be there. Kafin Oil installs gas and oil burners, too, water heaters, and central air conditioning systems. Stay comfortable year-round with the Kafin Oil team of professionals. Kafin Oil of Woonsocket, 765-3881. Keep that number handy, 765-3881.
Hi, this is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' inside the Tiki Bar, heard Monday nights at 6 on ON Radio. It's 1 full hour of Jimmy Buffett music. The Tiki Bar is brought to you by Attorney Bob Lauder, the Carew Investment Group, Pep and Lumber, and Family Discount Furniture. All right, it's Coffee In on ON, AM and FM. Yes, join us tonight for the Tiki Bar, 1 full hour Jimmy Buffett music tonight at 6. This is Joe Callahan. Dave Richards is here. Melissa Murray's here. And Jean Michon from New Beginnings is here. And Jean's going to do something. She does this every year. No? Okay. But this will be
No.
the third time you're doing it.
Yes.
And it's not something women normally do, but you're going to shave your head.
Yes, for the third time for one mission. I'm going to be at Gillette Stadium on June 12th, I believe it is. I forget the date.
At least it'll be warm weather.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that has its
The
own.
last time Joe got a buzz cut, it was December.
It was almost Christmas.
Yeah, well, I have to remember to put sunscreen on.
That's
Because-
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it has its own perils. I was out in the garden at the community garden.
Sunburned head really hurts.
Yeah.
Right there on the bone.
Well, they buzz you.
Yeah.
And then I go home and my husband helps me shave right down to the skin.
Wow.
Because if I'm going to be bald, I'm going to be bald all the way.
That's
And
right.
I look fabulous.
You don't want to be half bald.
I do. I look fabulous.
You're lucky.
Yeah,
You
I
do.
Well,
You do.
I
I've
thought
seen
for sure I
pictures.
would look like a cracked egg because I have a crack in my skull that goes all the. I guess when I was a kid,
You fell on
flipping,
it? Yeah.
by the slide, I used to climb the rungs upside down, and I fell and whacked my head on the cement.
So this is done for a charity, though?
Yeah.
What's the
yeah,
charity?
One Mission.
Oh, okay.
It's called
All
One
right.
Mission. They're based out of Massachusetts. They work with children with cancer.
Okay.
It's almost like Hasbro does in Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. They have like Taco Tuesday, or they have a room set up specifically for crafts with the kids, and it's all about the kids at the children's hospitals in Boston. I'm trying to raise $1,000. I have $655 raised. I haven't even fundraised yet. So, oh
This time.
yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be selling dynamites, but that'll be at the end of May, and that'll be posted. I'm also going to be throwing out the first pitch for the Woonsocket Little League.
Oh, yeah.
Opening day.
Neat.
How's your arm?
That's coming up.
I'm
What?
practicing.
Oh, good.
Is that this weekend?
No, April 22nd
Oh,
at
okay.
11 a.m. at World War II Park. I
Ah.
have that, and that'll be imprinted in my brain. And that's from Autumn Fest.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now remember, mound to home plate for Little League is about 45 feet.
Right.
So
So, I've been practicing
it's
with
longer
my
than
dog.
you think it is.
Yeah, I've been practicing with my dog. Thank God he brings
Yeah,
the ball
ball
back.
Well, they'll give you a dry ball to throw. So
Yeah. And I actually have my baseball glove from when I was in Little League.
you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Wow.
That's
And
a
it,
long.
and it fits?
No, but I still have
Oh,
it.
but you still have it. All right. So, all right. Well, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Please try to make the throw all the way in the air.
Yes.
You don't want to bounce it in.
Not go. Ew.
That's how I throw.
No, are you left-handed?
Yes.
Are you? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I have my red. I wanted a red baseball glove when I was in Little League, and my mother bought me a red baseball glove, and I still have it.
Did you find it at Benny's?
No, I don't know. No, maybe social department store
All right.
a Rathbun outlet.
Well, possibly. All right. Other things that are going on. I don't know if this affects anybody in this area, but the Gap is closing its store at the Providence Place Mall. One of the original tenants when the mall opened back in 1999.
I always avoided it. I didn't want to fall in.
But the Gap's having trouble nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just people don't go to the malls anymore. So,
People don't. No.
Everything's online.
Yeah. And so that's what, in an effort to try to save money, this is probably one of their lower producing stores anyway. So, all right, that was going to close.
Well, since Providence Place has had such difficulties,
Yeah.
once the criminal element took over the place, it's very difficult to run a respectable operation when you have gangs of people scaring away your customers.
The Gap stays open in Rhode Island, in Cranston, in Newport. Well, now you gotta plan a day if you're gonna go to the Gap here in Rhode Island.
No, I used to go to the Gap at the Lincoln Mall
Yeah.
back in the day.
I don't
I was
remember
like,
them,
what
I
am
don't
I?
remember them having a Gap at the
Oh
Lincoln Mall,
yes, right next to Music and.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm dating myself
And the
here.
Dream Machine.
Was it next to the Dream Machine? I remember the Dream Machine.
still
That
have
was
Spencer Gifts.
tokens.
it's Spencer's.
Where did you
Spencer's
get your
Gifts.
cassettes if you weren't going to Music and? Music and ...
No, what was the Strawberry Records was
Yes.
up in
Well,
Woonsocket.
yes,
Yeah,
right.
You
Diamond
went to,
Hill.
went to
Right.
Strawberry Records. They were a Ticketron outlet too.
God, we're going
Oh
down
my
memory
gosh.
lane.
Okay.
So you went and got your concert tickets.
R.I.P. Gap. I used to love
All
the
right.
Gap.
Did you like the Deb? That was another one. Deb,
There was a
but
Deb there. No, I wasn't Deb.
No.
I was more of like a preppy.
Cherry Web and Terrain.
No,
Oh.
not me.
Trying to think of other stores that were at the Lincoln Mall.
The tie shop, which is just ties.
It was just ties.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that one.
That was for your dad.
Chess King.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chess King, right.
King.
That was like more for guys, right?
Yes, that was guys'
Yeah.
clothes. They had the real
Yeah.
skinny ties.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
think
yes.
of the tie shop.
Right.
There was a Walden Books. That's where I got my crib sheet, not crib sheets. What was it? Crib notes.
Crib note. And
What is it?
Caldo was up there.
I
Was it?
remember. Yes, Caldo was there.
Yeah.
That
Caldo
one-
was an
that
anchor
was an
store.
anchor.
Yeah.
All right.
That's where I bought my balloon when I met my
Jeez.
husband. I still have the balloon from 1989 and it's still inflated.
Really?
I bought it from Caldo.
Wow. What
was
was
for-
really in there?
I'm still,
Our first Valentine's Day.
You
I'm
went all
still,
the way to
mo-
Caldor's. Oh, what a,
Yeah,
what a
all the way-
romantic.
and bought me a balloon and it's still on the stick.
I'm still mourning Mammoth Martin Nyanza.
Oh, I go Mammoth Mont with the elephant out
The
front
elephant,
in
yeah.
Park Square.
And Nyanza, remember on
Yes, I
Singleton
remember
Street?
Nyanza. Oh my God, yeah. That was
Yeah.
like a family trip on Saturdays.
It was.
Was that a department store?
Well, kind of, yeah.
They
It was.
had-
It was in the Ann and Hope tradition.
Yeah.
All right. Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
And Save Right. I worked for Dave
Well,
Daniels
everyone-
Oh,
for
yeah,
years.
but-
I got my
knows
first
Save Right.
wedding ring at Save Right. I
Why
still
not?
have
They
it.
have good stuff.
$35 for a wedding
Really?
ring. Yeah.
what? 35. Wow.
And it was
Oh my
gold.
goodness.
All right. I have a funny Save Right story. This didn't happen in Woonsocket. There was one down in Route 2 in Warwick. And at the time, I was working for CompUSA. Remember CompUSA?
Yeah.
Before they went out of
Oh, yeah.
business? Well, one of the managers there that I was associated with went to the Save Right because he worked out at the Warwick CompUSA. He went to the Save Right there. I don't know what he needed.
Yeah.
But he was getting such terrible service.
What?
he was getting such terrible service at the
Wouldn't
Save
happen in
Right.
the one socket store.
And he even called him out on it. You know, you're not being very friendly. You're not very good at your job. He said it doesn't matter. This is my last day here, and I'm getting a job someplace else. So you know, basically screw you and whatever. So he didn't buy whatever he wanted to buy. Couldn't find it or whatever. So he went back to work, and he had an interview at like 2 p.m. In comes in the same guy from Save Right.
No way.
Sorry.
Wow.
And he
what
saw
a
him, and
story.
he says, mouth dropped to the floor. And my friend, the manager, says, "Don't even bother coming in. Get out. just leave.
That's right.
Right now."
No.
Don't sit down.
That's right.
You won't be here long enough.
We don't even. I don't even
To
have to
cross
ask
your
anything.
legs.
Wow.
That's such a great
See?
That is
story.
remarkable.
You never know
No.
who you're
Always be
talking
ni-
to. Always
that's-
be nice because you never know
never-
who you're
you
talking
never
to.
know.
Well, we were taught in the Woonsocket store, because I ran the stereo department for when Dave owned the place. We were taught, now you have to understand, this is not a store. This is a catalog showroom.
Well, yeah.
If somebody wants something that's not on the shelves and it's not in the catalog, you won't be getting it for them because they'll be violating government rules. The reason we can say we can sell at prices that are lower is because there are certain tax advantages to being a club as opposed, BJ's pounced on this years ago.
Right.
Being a club as opposed to being a mercantile. Mercantile, you have to serve everybody. There you are. You know, all the rules are in play. But we actually are a private place where only people with the catalog would come to see in person what they saw in the catalog. And we can answer questions for them. So you really got to know your stuff on this equipment. So that's how it was. So when you first started that story, I said to myself, well, did this guy take it way too seriously? Nah, he was just a jerk. And we were well rid of him, weren't we? So, yeah, I never did go to the Warwick store.
No, I didn't either.
But if I remember, Roger Nault was manager of the Warwick store for a while. And if I remember, Roger ran a tight ship. So this wouldn't have been at that time. But we worked
No,
up.
this would have been late 80s, maybe even early 90s.
Because I worked for them in the 70s.
Okay.
Before, I never worked in the new place that became Thunder Mist.
Right.
Wow.
In the new store. I always worked at 84 Social Street, as did our most recently retired fire chief, Paul Chatra. He and Tommy Williams, who was also in the fire department, Ken Finley, who has been in the fire department, been a chief, and of course, very successful businessman in the area. He has the contract for keeping our heating system running here. All those guys, we were all in the same, and of course, Tommy Williams Sr., we're all in that group there. Larry Lovering, there was a whole bunch of us that were all kind of buds back there in the late 70s at Save Right at 84 Social Street. And quite a crop of gang we had there, that's for sure. But I remember Roger Nault. People remember him from the Heritage Coffee Shop. He was manager of the Warwick store, and he had never would
put up with that.
with people with attitudes.
That's like something in a
No.
sitcom. You walk in and there's the person that you just treated poorly,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, you can't write them any better than that one.
And you're right about you never know who you might be talking to.
That's right.
And I walked into a Cumberland Farms, and at the time my wife worked at Cumberland Farms in their corporate offices, and the person behind the counter is bad mouthing Cumberland Farms to the other employees,
Oh my, yeah.
just going back about how lousy this place is, and she wouldn't stop, and I'm just getting a gallon of milk, and and she rang me up, and when we were all done, I grabbed the milk. I said, you should never assume that the customers don't know people that work at the corporate office. And I just walked out.
Right.
That's right.
Now, my wife wasn't going to do anything about it anyway.
Right, but lesson
I
learned.
never saw her there again. When I went back like a week later for another gallon of
Well,
milk,
good.
and from that, and I keep going back to the same store. She wasn't there anymore.
If they're that unhappy, they should go
Oh,
someplace
yeah.
where they will be
Absolutely.
happy.
Please get out.
No malice, just it's not a fit. Find someplace
Right.
where
It's not
it
a good
is.
fit.
Right.
All right. Richard Leach is back home.
Yes.
This is the
Many-
judge
yeah.
that was hit by a car
Yes.
crossing Smith Street.
Right in front of the
right
State
for
House.
State House, and
Yep.
pretty bad accident. He had to have surgery, and then hospital up
It
in
was
Boston,
critical.
and then off
Touch
to
and go for a
Spalding.
few hours.
Transferred to Spalding Rehab
Yeah.
for more
That's a
rehab.
good place.
Yep, but he's making good progress. He's back home, and but he's older. How old is he in his
Well, geez, I don't
80s?
know. He's well into his 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he
It
must
could
be.
have been later than that. Yeah.
The accident happened back in February. He is back home now,
Yep.
so he's doing better.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I remember I was at the State House that night, and he was at a hearing, and knocked right out of his shoes. I mean,
Oh,
but
God.
I've known Richard for a long time. He and my dad served in the Senate together at the same time.
Wow.
So
And I don't think anything happened with the driver. I think it was this is just a bad accident.
other people have been hit in front of the State House
Have they?
too. The lighting is poor,
Is it?
even though
Yeah.
they have that raised speed bump
Yeah,
with the crosswalk. But
It's still
you
not good.
really need to, because of the hill going up and down both ways, and you're at the top of the hill, you really need to cross at the crosswalk at the top of the hill
Yeah.
because someone can come over and not see you. So
All right.
it's not it's not a good place to cross the street. Unfortunately, you can't park in the parking lot. Only
Yeah.
staff and.
He
stuff
was
can
born in 48.
48. Okay.
Yeah.
So someone do the math. All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and Program. More coming up. Please stick around. The Broaster House is the place for excellent dinners like broasted chicken or chicken family style, Delmonico steak, and hot turkey sandwich. The Broaster House features 10 delicious appetizers like stuffed quahogs and the house sampler. Enjoy seafood at the Broaster House like butterfly shrimp or broasted fish and chips. And don't forget the combinations from 4 to 32 pieces. Eat in, take out, and they cater at the Broaster House, 263 Pond Street, Woonsocket. Call them at 762-1717.
Hello, my name is Trudy Lamoureux on the committee of the 150th anniversary of Precious Blood Church. On April 16th, in commemoration of that event, from 2 to 4 p.m., there will be a fabulous organ concert with renowned organist Henri St. Louis and a large chorale at the Precious Blood Church. It will be a wonderful way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Tickets are on sale for $10 at Precious Blood Rectory and at St. Agatha's Rectory, and also, of course, on April 16th at the door. It's an event you don't want to miss.
Thanks, Trudy. It is Coffee and on Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Gene Michon from New Beginnings. Thanks for joining us today, Gene.
Thank
And it's funny that this story has popped up, and we don't know if this would this affect you if you were in San Diego. All right, Styrofoam is officially banned in businesses in
Yes.
San Diego.
Yes.
That would affect you.
Absolutely.
Would it? Okay. The ordinance went into effect over the weekend. It bans restaurants and businesses from using the material. Restaurants that make less than $1 million a year will have another year to comply with this ordinance.
Oh, good.
The city says nothing about nonprofits. The city insists polystyrene foam can end up in the ocean, and San Diego's right in the ocean, and harm the wildlife. That's why they're doing it out that way.
Yeah, we try and use biodegradable stuff,
Yeah.
but especially with soup
Cost.
and the salt. Yeah, it's about 3 times the cost of styrofoam.
Yeah.
Because it gets saturated.
Right.
You know, if you're using some pressed paper thing,
Yeah.
it gets saturated.
Right,
And
and I
eventually
do a
it
lot
fails.
of gravies and I do soups and
Yeah.
Chowders and stuff
yeah,
like that.
and but we've actually received bowls from the food bank, which we've been testing. I will put soup in it and leave it for an hour, and these bowls are fabulous.
Still hot?
Yeah, and it's not saturated.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe a little lukewarm. But unfortunately, because of cost, we have to buy what we can afford.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if people donate, they donate what they can afford.
But
to
guess what?
donate.
If that law passes here, you'll be getting a lot of donations
Yes.
on stuff you can't use anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Have you seen that kicking around the State House?
Oh,
Melissa?
yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
this is,
Yes.
Yeah, it's been
a thing.
for several years. Yeah,
Really? Okay.
it's not a new thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it made it in San Diego. So,
But don't
not
worry
statewide.
about it. But don't worry about it, Gene. There's usually some sort of a groundswell of civil disobedience that goes on. I'm
Save the styrofoam.
I'm still walking into restaurants and getting straws thrown
Straws,
at
I
me.
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
Had
yeah.
lasted for about
A
2 to
week.
3 months, maybe.
And then no one
Right.
cares.
And
huh?
then there's no straw police,
Whoa.
so
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
This is what we always talk about.
That's right.
There's
Don't
enforceable.
no enforcement. Then what are you gonna do?
Don't make a law unless you can enforce it. And of course, if you can enforce it, make sure you can get reelected afterwards.
Yeah,
It gets
we're
more
gonna create
complicated.
a straw police
That's it.
division, and we're no.
Can I get a badge?
All right, here's something more up your alley here, Gene. Today, April 3rd, it's World Party Day.
Oh, every day's a party. New beginnings. It's
People-
an adventure.
People are encouraged to celebrate with theme parties with music, drinks, games, and food. Some ideas include a movie night party, a dance party, or even an art party.
I'm all partied out after last Friday and Saturday.
The day was inspired by the 1995 novel Flight, a quantum fiction novel, okay, which has a synchronized worldwide celebration that happens on April 3rd, 2000. Now, if you participate in the day, make sure to use the hashtag World Party Day.
Okay.
So it's a
Nobody
party of
wants
new
to party on a
beginnings.
Monday. We're just, we're still drinking our coffee, kind of
Easing
waking.
into the
We're
week.
easing into the week. We're easing into the
Yeah,
week.
no,
It's
I'm
not
not
even
sliding
9 o'clock
into
on a
a
Monday.
plate.
We can't think about party right now. I can't anyway.
Here's a pretty decent story. TikTok's traveling grannies are back home in Texas. Ellie Hamby and Sandy Hazelip came up with the idea to travel around the world in 80 days when they were 80 a while back, and this year finally made it happen.
That's great.
The Friends of 23 Years traveled to all 7 continents,
Wow.
taking an enthusiastic fan base along for the ride. They say they hope to inspire future generations and help people realize it's never too late to travel the world.
I'm going to have to look them up.
They must have put all their travels down on TikTok so you
Yeah,
can see
I'm
where
ready
they
to
were.
look 'em up.
I'm not on TikTok, but
I am, but I'll find them.
Well, good for them.
Give
that
me
they
some
made it.
yeah, good for
I
them.
mean,
Right?
it's-
It's never too late to travel, right?
Absolutely.
Sounds like another 80 for Brady deal.
That's what
I
it
was-
is,
yeah.
basically it. Yeah, you're right. All right, little
80 is the new 70.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know.
A little closer to home here. Little unrest down at Providence College. One of the players on the men's basketball team is accused of pointing a gun at his girlfriend.
That's not
You
good.
didn't hear about this over the weekend? Yeah. Providence
Yeah.
police arrested 21-year-old Alan Breed for what they described as, quote, numerous firearms offenses, unquote, and other charges, including robbery, in connection to an alleged off-campus incident that happened on Saturday. Providence College say he's a point guard. He's a junior. He's been suspended from the
And
team.
no longer on the team.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's going to be playing basketball at PC any
Right.
longer. The last thing the new coach needs is a problem like this.
Oh, yeah.
He's just trying to keep his players here, and they don't leave. This one can actually leave,
Yeah.
I guess. So no word on whether or not he's been expelled from the school, but he's definitely off the team now. So
That's a bit more complicated.
Getting him out of the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it is. So, so that's what happened at PC over the weekend. And in out in Illinois, there was a heavy metal concert but a tornado blew through and
Heavy metal style of music.
and a person
Blaring
died
guitars.
Oh, God.
at the concert because the roof collapsed.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Because
and
there were
was,
tornadoes going on outside, Joe. Tell them the whole story.
well, there were tornadoes going on outside, and that's what blew the roof off. And
Oh, no.
Collapsed,
Yeah, I would've
collapsed some of the
stayed home.
building.
The band thought it was them.
It's not the band.
No.
But a band from Boston was there,
Oh,
and they're not injured. They were able to perform.
It wasn't over the stage where the roof collapsed.
I guess not.
was where the audience was.
And one died, 40 hurt on this when the roof collapsed at
They
the
probably
Apollo
still did better
Theater.
than if they had been at the nearby high school.
Yeah. The headlining act could not play because the roof collapsed, and they had all these injuries.
And why would they?
Well, that's right. Over 250 people were there.
Right.
So when you have that kind of a small crowd, so when one dies and 40 get hurt,
Yeah,
that's,
Yeah.
that's pretty big. The name of the headlining band, probably one of your favorites, Morbid Angel. No?
I don't know.
Never.
I've never
No.
heard of
No
them.
T-shirt, Melissa? No
I
T-shirt?
don't have.
I don't have a CD. Forgive me.
CD.
Sorry.
No, I don't have a T-shirt. I can imagine what the T-shirt looks like. That it might potentially be cool.
Yeah.
But I think I would skip out on
That's
wearing
because you're
that.
so artistic.
She can't claim that one.
No,
All right.
I'm more of an '80s, maybe eking
Iron
into the
Maiden.
'90s. You know, I'm sporting some Rick Astley and some Prince and
Oh, okay.
They're not,
some Wham, but
they're
no,
not-
no Morbid Angel.
Not heavy metal.
they're not
I've never heard
They're not in the morbid angel category.
Not so much. No.
Rick Astley. Wow.
This
about
theater,
six
if I
finger
remember
pro-
correctly,
that
is
punch or something?
in a far suburb of Chicago, and was called the Apollo,
The Apollo,
Theater.
yeah.
Right. So it was in that genre.
Belvedere, Illinois.
And- yeah.
All right. Oh, the band from Boston's called Revocation. Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
This is probably your smaller
Yeah.
heavy metal bands that are just on the
The
upcoming.
club bands.
That's right. And we'll get a bunch of us together, and we'll try to get a bigger crowd. Up in Massachusetts, the I don't know if we've talked about the story before of what was going on at the Brockton Registry of Motor Vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
They were fixing licenses, and the manager was
You
taking
come in
money.
and you didn't pass the written test,
Just pay
but
us.
you passed the
just-
written
yeah,
test
just-
if the money was right.
Yeah. And over hundreds
Wow.
of people that shouldn't have got their learner's permit got their learner's
The way they
permit.
did that is said, don't use the computer. Come in and take the written test, and I'll score it for you.
Yeah. So
If I score first.
the former manager pleading guilty to
How much
extortion
money?
charges. I don't know. They never really said how much.
They didn't. I can't.
Mia Cox Johnson admits she took cash to give passing grades to learner's permit test scores. She instructed people who had paid her to request paper tests instead of taking them on an RMV computer, and she would score them personally. That's really funny, Dave.
There you go.
Wait.
yes.
Way to keep yourself out of harm's way.
Well, I know, but now there's a
let's-
paper trail.
Let's point the
And they can't-
microscope right at you.
Yeah.
So have they talked about these people retaking the tests? I mean, they can't,
I
right?
think
But
I think the registry has reached out to these people
and said they need
and
to.
said you got to redo this, and how they're getting them to come back in and redo it, I don't know. Now she pled guilty to the federal charges of extortion and conspiracy, and will be sentenced in July.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think.
But you
she's
could say,
out.
look, I had no idea
Right.
that this wasn't a legitimate method of taking
well,
the
that's
test,
right.
and you gave me my license, and so you
I
can't
took
make
the
me
test,
come back in, right?
She marked it correct.
And then I'm going to sue the
I
state because
passed.
I
That's it.
am mad because I am a bad driver, and I'm afraid I'm not going to. I mean,
Well, this is just the written test.
Right.
The actual driving test, you can't. Well, I guess you could fix it, but the chances of fixing it are
Yeah,
really
a
low.
lot less.
Well,
Slim.
but the costs in the body shop for the examination cars would be a telltale right there, I think. Don't
Yeah,
you?
I'm getting ready for that one with mine.
How many other cars did you hit on the road?
That's right.
All right. Well, but she pled guilty, and I wish it said how much money
Yeah.
that she took in that she would have to pay back. They might have said it in an earlier story, and I just can't remember it.
I think we did, but I can't recall.
Yeah, how much money she had to pay back. So, and down in Warwick, the Warwick Public Library is getting nearly $1 million to make several locations more accessible to people with disabilities.
Oh, that's good.
They announced early $1 million in federal funding to renovate the Apponaug and the Norwood Library branches compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. How many other libraries are in Warwick?
Less.
Well,
I don't know. I
There's
thought they only had three.
West Warwick.
Okay. In announcing the grant,
But I don't
Congressman
know.
Seth Magaziner said the library is an invaluable resource for the entire community and will now be inclusive for all Rhode Islanders.
Good.
Dave, do you know, or Melissa, do you know the Harris Public Library? Is that ADA
Oh, yeah.
compliant?
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
sliding doors, one level.
Oh, yeah.
And
Even
you
the
have
archive
bathrooms.
place upstairs you can get to by
Yeah.
elevator.
Yeah, they have an
Okay.
elevator.
Makes you wonder how come it took Warwick so long.
Because
Money?
they used older buildings.
Yeah. And they were
That's
just grandfathered in, and you don't have to do this
Well,
unless you really want to.
you can, I don't know, it's either grandfathered or you get an exception or
Yeah.
you say, well, listen, we'll take care of that as soon as we get the money.
And now they have it. So,
Yeah.
All right. We're coming to the end of the program, so I want to go back over to Gene and just run down everything.
Just the highlights.
You ran down at the
Just
beginning.
the highlights,
Just the
please?
highlights, yes. Just
Okay.
the greatest hits. We don't need War and Peace. Go ahead.
All right, the annotated version.
Yeah.
We're having musical bingo at New Beginnings, April 15th, 6 to 9 p.m., $20. Light supper will be served. You get a
Hey,
card.
who's cooking?
Me and Grandma's roasting pans. Hopefully, I'll be using the oven by then. We're also partnering with St. James Church for their May breakfast, May 6th, from 8 to noon. Ham, sausage, eggs, muffins, French
The
toast.
usual
The usual
suspects,
fare.
yes,
Yes. Yes. I will be throwing out the first pitch at the Little League opening day ceremonies at World War II Park on April 22nd.
What time of the morning? 11, is
o'clock,
it? Yeah, 11
yes.
o'clock. Yeah.
Yes, I've been practicing. And I will be shaving my head for kids
We'll
with
be there
cancer.
with a TV camera to immortalize the
Oh,
situation.
all right,
for you.
good, thank you. I'll be wearing my orange jacket,
There you go.
making me look like the Great Pumpkin.
And you're shaving your head?
Shaving my head, I think it's the
12th of June?
12th of June on a Sunday at Gillette Stadium for kids with cancer. This is my third time's the charm trifecta.
Great.
If folks want to sponsor you, can they Venmo you or do they have to like give
No,
you
you
cash?
can Venmo me. No.
Okay.
If you do cash, I send a check into them and they.
Okay.
But yeah, my Venmo, I think it's Ivan's mommy at Cox.net. But I can send you the Venmo.
Okay. Great.
All right, G. Misha, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, glad you were able to stay the whole hour. Melissa, thanks for showing up as well.
Thank you.
And Dave, nice to have you here as always.
Yeah, thank you very much. We missed Jay Levinson today, but we'll catch up with him by and by and get that information on the air for you. And don't forget to tune in tonight at 6 o'clock for the Tiki Bar with Joe Callahan, your maitre d'.
Yes.
To be followed by a very important Woonsocket City Council meeting right here on your favorite local radio stations.
Thanks, Dave. Coming up next, it'll be at the library with Leslie Page and Food First with Karen Zangari on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.